So can we also say the internet has also destroyed the culture? Because as you just said, we could just upload it. If we didn't have that option to be able to just upload whatever, and we had to rely on the gatekeepers, would we still be in this position?
No. And I'll tell you why. If you decided to upload a video to YouTube tomorrow and it's going against a particular community, what do you think would happen to that content?
Or let's take it down.
It's removed.
Right.
Right. So you can get on, we can get on YouTube and we can say N-word all day. It's never removed.
So
you see what I'm saying?
If we lost the ability to upload anything we want, you know, the kind of music that is doing what it's doing, if we didn't have that option, you know, and the only way to get our music out, whether it's, you know, whatever, the only way to get our music out was to go through the formal ways of a gatekeeper, a record label. Somebody had to put you on. Would the standards still be the same? Would the standards be upheld as they were previously?
It depends on where people are moralistically. I don't think people are there anymore. I think everybody's here now for capitalistic. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to make a dollar. So if the negative situation is going to make the money, then the gatekeeper is going to lean in that direction. But the gatekeeper but in our older times, the gatekeeper wasn't always just about trying to make sure that they had something that was profitable. It was also to make sure that something was coming through and it wasn't like absolutely negative to the community at large. Like that's a responsibility.
That it was actually good music and it was good.
Yeah. Like this is a responsibility to make sure that the music wasn't actually going to destroy the community. Because if it destroys the community, how can you create more music? You can't. You know, it's like so this is the cycle that people are not looking at. It's like, are we paying attention to what we're putting out here? You know, you had said something earlier before we had got on air. We were talking about the Kodak Black and the 6ix9ine record, and people were in an uproar as to why he's doing the record, with so forth and so on. And we were talking about, like, you know, 6ix9ine himself and, you know, what he represents, and people hate him because he decided to save himself in these type of situations. But it goes back to our community again too, and it's like, okay, if you have the opportunity to fix your community by, you know, basically trying to remove the folks that are destroying the community, you would be frowned upon. And we're the only community that gets frowned for, you know, trying to fix the community or remove the people from the community that are harming it or destroying it.
Yeah. You're right. You know,
we've been programmed like wrong. Like our programming is wrong. Everything the way that we're thinking is just wrong. It's not critical thinking. It's like voting against your own interests. It's like,
right. You live in a neighborhood, and if the person next door is a serial killer that's been killing people and, you know, doing all sorts of stuff in your neighborhood, you know, it's, if you say something, you're frowned on. You're quote unquote snitching. But the person is killing probably family members or putting your families at risk. Like,
how long before it happened to you? Like, that's really the reality of it.
Bringing down the property value, like everything you worked hard for. It's like,
there's no critical thinking, bro. Like, that's really this is what you're looking at in real time. We're upholding a standard, or there's no standard for us. Like, we're willing to deal with anything. Like, there's no standards for us anymore.
Rapper Troy Ave, and I think even 50 Cent said this also. Both of them said it, like, the hood is a myth. Like, some of the belief systems that were instilled in the hood is just like, who thought of this stuff?
Stuff
You know,
is just,
there's a lot of things that just sound, a lot of good quotes that just sounds good. But in reality, when you think about it, it's just there to just continuously bring us down and just keep us in a certain place.
and there's not enough of us out here telling people that it's not real, man. Like, there's not enough of us coming out and saying, hey, you don't need to do that. Like, there's not enough of us coming out and saying, this is really the wrong way for you to do that. You're wasting your money going this way. You're wasting your time going this way.
You're risking your freedom doing it.
You're risking your freedom going that way, you know. And shout out to a few folks that are doing it, the Gillies and the Wallows of the world. A few other folks out there that are just basically trying to tell people what it is. But even them, look, they still suffered a huge loss and tragedy. Everything that they tried to do, and they still suffer that huge tragedy and that huge loss. Like, you know, and it's just a shame to see that keep going on like that. Like, it's a shame to see that, and I don't think enough of our folks are coming out, and enough people are not saying, hey, enough is enough. You know, we all had the gangster life. We've all been here. We've all, you know, there was a time when you had to do that life in order to survive. I don't know if that's the case anymore. Like, now that life is like just something that we're choosing to do because it's what, you know, fashionable to some degree. Because with technology, there's no way for you to really make money. You know what I'm saying? If you're out here in the street, how long before you get caught by the police? Like, it's not a situation that it's not sustainable like you know, in times past. So nobody's really talking about the way they need to talk about it. But this is the Arkatech Beatz Music Business Podcast. Of course, it's sponsored by, you know, these books that we've put out, which is, you know, the Songwriter's Guide to Song Registration, the Musician's Guide to Music Publishing, also the Musician's Guide to Music Copyrights, and also the Ultimate Guide to Forming Your Own Music LLC. Thank you for everybody who have supported that. And if you haven't gotten them already, please cop. There's some more coming out within the next 30 to 40 days.
Before we close out, like what can we say or leave with some of the viewers as far as artists that's coming up or in this creating music? What can we give them as far as hope or direction, you know, after all this is said?